Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 6 of our semester. We have now reached the 6th week of the semester. We're getting close to the middle point of our semester. I hope you are all doing well. At the time I am recording this video, I have just started to grade essays that were submitted in the essay number 1 Dropbox, and I hope to have the first major essays graded as soon as possible. I know you are all curious about the results for the essay assignments, so I am doing my best to grade them as soon as possible. Typically, it does take me a while to grade essays that are turned in, so hopefully I can get the results back to you in about a week since you have submitted the essay, but it may take me a little longer than that to go through the essays in the essay number 1 Dropbox. You will know that I have graded your essay. First of all, one thing that will happen after I grade your essay is you will see a grade for the assignment. If you click on the grades link located near the top of the page when you are inside the course in D2L, you will be able to see your grade for the essay assignment. That grade will appear in the gradebook once I have graded the essay. To be able to see my feedback that I provide in your graded essay assignment, you need to go back to the essay number 1 Dropbox. And if you go back to the essay number 1 Dropbox, you should see a link, or it may appear as an attachment or a link to the document that contains my feedback. If you look through the graded essay, often I provide comments within the essay. Then at the very end of the graded essay document, I also provide a summary of the strengths and the weaknesses that I found in the essay. So once I've graded your essay, you should be able to see my graded feedback. Just look in the essay number 1 Dropbox. That's where you will be able to find my feedback once I have graded the essay. So I ask you for your patience. I will try to get the essays graded as soon as possible, but that is how you will be able to find out how you did for essay number 1 if you look back in the essay number 1 Dropbox. Other updates for this week. Of course, we have another reading assignment for this week, and again, we're following our usual pattern where you are given a reading assignment. You have to write a short piece of writing on it. There's a grammar lesson we'll have covered later. Then you'll edit your short piece of writing. The short daily writing assignments that we have right now for this portion of the semester are summary and response writing. And we're doing that on purpose because our next major essay assignment is what's called a summary response essay. So for a summary response essay, you have to summarize a piece of writing. Then, after you have summarized it, you then need to respond to it. And that's the basic setup for these daily writing assignments for last week and also for this week. And for this week, we have a different reading. Again, you need to summarize it, you need to respond to it, and again, there will be a class discussion on the reading as well. In this week's section of the content page, I am providing the official instructions for essay number 2, the summary response essay. And in those instructions, you will see that you will have a choice between these two readings that we have read for daily work, for essay number 2, you will then focus on one of those readings to actually summarize and respond for the major essay. What this means is some of the work has already been done. If you have done your homework last week and if you do the daily assignments for this week, you will already have at least a draft of a summary of the reading that you will pick for essay number 2. And you will have the starting point anyway, a beginning for your response. So you'll need to add to it to make it long enough for your essay. But the good news for essay number 2 is you will have already started the work. And basically you just need to choose which of the readings you want to use for the essay number 2 assignment. And at least I think that is good news. It will hopefully help make the major essay assignment a little bit easier. Since you have that choice of deciding which reading that you want to use for essay number 2, maybe the best way to go about this is you will want to choose whichever one you believe you find the most interesting, whichever one you believe you are most comfortable with in summarizing and responding to. I'm just looking at my notes here for other information I need to mention about this week. Like I said, I've provided the instructions in this week's section of the content page for the essay number 2 assignment. There is a chapter, remember, in the Little Seagull Handbook that explains how to write a summary response essay. That is chapter W12, Summary Response Essays. If you have the print version of the handbook, that chapter begins on page 86. It's located in the right section of the Little Seagull Handbook. If you have the print copy, I believe those are the pages in the handbook that have a yellow border to them. Some of my students call those the yellow pages, the pages in the handbook that have a yellow color to them. If you are using the ebook version of the handbook, there's no special color to them, I don't believe, but it's chapter W12 entitled Summary Response Essays. That's a good chapter to look at for some guidance on how to put together this type of essay. And I have mentioned that chapter before to give you some help for the daily writing and how to write a summary and how to write a response. But at the end of that chapter W12, Summary Response Essays, it does have a sample essay that you can look at to see how to put together that type of essay. There is also a link to videos that I have provided in this week's section of the content page. A video that explains how to write a summary response essay. That video may also be helpful for this assignment, so please watch particularly that video, How to Write a Summary Response Essay. Like I said, I have included that video in this week's section of the content page as well to help you out for that assignment. Okay, I believe that's the highlights of what we're doing this week. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am doing my best to grade the essays and to give you those results as soon as possible. Once you get the results from the essay, please look over my comments and my feedback. The last thing I'll say about the major essay, and this is true for our other major essays this semester as well, The course has an option for you to improve the grade you have received for your major essays. So once I've graded your essay number 1, if you are interested in trying to improve the grade for essay number 1, there is a revision option set up in the course for the major essays. The way the revision option works in my course, what you need to do is look over my comments, then based on my feedback, make improvements to the essay. You'll need to go back to the original document and make improvements to it based on my feedback. And my feedback should inform you whatever weaknesses may exist in the essay. After you've made improvements to the essay, the way the revision option works, you will then need to turn it in again, and you can resubmit it, your revised version of the essay, using the exact same Dropbox for essay number 1. So to submit a revision, you just go back to the essay number 1 Dropbox. But you don't want to do this quickly. I recommend first that you look over my comments, look over my feedback, make sure you understand my comments. Feel free to email me if there's something you don't understand in my feedback, and then make improvements to your essay. And the policy for revision in my course syllabus for English 1301, it says that the revised essay needs to show significant improvement. So if you just make one little change and that's it, then most likely your grade is not going to improve. But if your essay, your revised essay, shows significant improvement, then I will increase the grade. I'll raise the grade to whatever higher grade I believe the revision has earned. That revision option is available to you for the major essays this semester. It is an option. It's not required. So if you receive a grade for essay number 1 from me and you are happy with the grade you received, you don't have to do anything. You can just keep the grade and be happy. But the revision option is available to you if you are interested in trying to improve the grade for the essay. The only other thing I will say about the optional revision, if you do decide to revise essay number 1 to try to improve the grade, if you can remember to do this, it'll be a big help if you would please highlight with the highlight feature in your word processing software whatever changes you have made to the essay. That would be a big help for me. If you highlight your changes in your revised essay to show me what improvements you've made, it helps in a couple of ways. First of all, it brings your improvements to my attention. It ensures I do not miss the changes you have made in the essay, so I can see them clearly. It also may be a help for you so that you're aware of the changes that you are making. But if you can remember to highlight with the highlight feature in your word processing software any changes you make in your revised essay, that would be a big help so I can see clearly the improvements that you've made to the essay assignment. Try to remember to do that, and I will also try to remember to leave a note in the essay Dropbox just to remind everyone if you decide you would like to revise the essay, try to remember to highlight the changes you make in the essay so I can clearly see them when I regrade the revisions. Okay, so that revision option is available to you, and it's just optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if you do decide to try to improve the grade for your major essay, remember that revision option. Also, don't forget about our tutor that we have assigned for the course. before you revise the essay, if you would like some feedback, our professional tutor is a great resource. Feel free to make an appointment with the tutor for help. And I have information about our tutor. You can find that information near the top of the left-hand side of the content page in the course. But the tutor can be a great resource in offering you some feedback, some help with revisions as well. So keep that in mind. Okay, I believe that's all the announcements. For that revision option, there is a deadline for the essay number 1 revision. You can find the deadline at the end of the syllabus document for the English 1301 course. So look at my syllabus for the full details about the revision option, and look at the very end of that syllabus for the deadline for that optional revision. You can find that deadline at the end of the syllabus. All right, I believe that's all of the announcements I have to give. I know there's quite a bit of work that we are doing right now. If you have any questions about any of that, feel free to email me. I will see you next week in my next video update. Take care, and we will be in touch.